Alright. Number 6. Wilson saved $1,204 and Jason saved $253 less than Wilson. If Aziz saved $1,118, how much did the three boys save altogether? Alright, Wilson. We know that he saved $1,204. You might notice sometimes I label my bars at the top and the bottom. The reason why I alternate, in other words, I label it from the top and then the bottom, is just because it makes it easier for me to see, and also so it doesn't squish up my working out. Jason. Now Jason saved $253 less than Wilson. So we know that Wilson has $1,204 saved. So obviously Jason's bar is going to be less. Okay? Now we don't know how much Jason has, so we put a question mark. But from here to here, this is what we know. I've drawn this in lines to indicate how much Jason is how much money Jason is missing. Okay, so Jason has $253 less than Wilson. Okay. Finally, Aziz. He saved $1,118. So his bar is going to be slightly shorter than Wilson's because obviously 1,118 is smaller than 1,204. Okay, so and I'll label it here. Now this line means the total. Okay? Now this is what we know. We know that Wilson saved $1,204. And we have that here. We know that Jason saved $253 less than Wilson. This bar represents how much Jason has. And this bar with the lines represents that Jason has $253 less than Wilson. Okay? Now it says here, if Aziz saved $1,118, which is indicated by the bar here, how much did the three boys save altogether? So that's a question mark. So we need to find two things first. We cannot find the total without finding out Jason's amount. Okay, so to find Jason, let's think back. Wilson has $1,204, right? But we know that Jason has $253 less than Wilson. Let me choose a different color to show you. So Jason has this amount. Okay? If we subtract this, the total, from here, won't we get this answer? Okay? Because this part that I circled in red is the whole bar, so that's $1,204. This part is $253. Okay? If we subtract this from this, then we get how much Jason has. So let's go back to blue. $1,204. Take away 253. Always make sure that the top is bigger than the bottom, otherwise you cannot subtract. 4 take away 3 is 1. 0 take away 5, we need to trade. Okay? So now this becomes 10. 10 take away 5 is 5. 1 take away 2 we can't do, so we need to trade. 11 take away 2 is 9. So in other words, Jason has $951. Okay. Now let's go back to the question. The question was, how much did the three boys save all together? So all together. Equals Wilson. So Wilson has, let's put the dollar sign, $1,204. Okay? Plus Jason's original amount, which was $951. And finally Aziz, who has $1,118. And all we do is we find out our answer. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 8 is 13. Okay? 1 plus 5 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. 2 plus 9 is 11. Plus 1 is 12. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. So our answer we can write here. Therefore, the three boys saved $3,273 altogether. Alright, full stop. Now some of you might be wondering, well, why don't you have units? Okay, well in this case we don't really have any units because we have most of the given information. It really depends on the problem. Let me change the wording of that to show you when you would draw units. Okay? Let's just go down. So I'll grab number 6 again. And we'll paste it here. Alright, let's change the wording of the question. Where's my pen? Alright. Alright. Let's say Wilson has $253 less than Jason. If Aziz saved $1,118, how much did the three boys save altogether? Okay? Then we would have units. Because in the first problem, the problem gave us information on how much Wilson had, but because we don't know that, here we draw the bar. Okay, and let's draw Jason's. Now it says Wilson has $253 less than Jason. So in other words, I can draw these two bars the same. However, because Wilson has $253 less than Jason, that, in other words, I draw an extra bar here and write 253. So in other words, Jason has $253 more than Wilson. Okay, so can you see how if I change some words around, the working out becomes totally different? Okay, it's very interesting. So hopefully that gives you a more better indication on when to use units. Okay, when to label your bars as units. If I write Aziz here, obviously we are given the information. Then I'll have to change this part, otherwise it'll make no sense. If they saved 5,000 altogether, how much does Wilson and Jason have? Okay. So obviously, when you add up Wilson, Jason, and Aziz, the total will be 5,000. And now, because these two bars are the same, you can label it as one unit. Now, I've been thinking about whether or not you've been confused on why we can take away y, we can divide, and this is how it basically works. Now let me do this in red. If I add these two, I'll get a total, okay, of these two amounts, and I subtract 5,000. Now you might be saying, well, how come you can divide 2 by 5,000? This symbol here basically means equal. Okay, that's all it is. And because this number is larger than this number, we will get an answer here, and that answer we can divide by these units. Okay, so hopefully that clears up any confusion. Okay. Here is your next problem. Number 7. There are a total of 1,928 guppies and goldfish in a pond. If there are 826 guppies, how many more goldfish than guppies are there? Okay, this problem requires more than one step. Think about the problems you've been doing, and you should have a better understanding now of how to do these types of problems. I think a guppy is like a tadpole fish, but don't quote me on that. Okay, maybe Google it yourself. Okay, catch you guys later.